Okay, hello there. I'm Dennis. Welcome to the channel. This following journey here may continue past this little small segment of journey. I've been doing the looking at Fedora spin-offs, and I hate to use the word spin because Fedora has their own quote unquote spins. And so I'm going to say this is a spin-off. And this is RisiOS we're going to be looking at. And RisiOS is, if you live in the United States, RisiOS is being provided to you locally. And I think that's awesome. It's basically, well, we'll get into more about what and who it is and all that good stuff. But anyway, we're going to be looking at RisiOS, which is based on Fedora Linux. And I'll tell you the truth, I've already installed this on one of my working machines, and all the work that you'll see through RisiOS is being done on RisiOS. And it just seems to be, so far, it seems to be flawless. Every piece of software that I need or use, not necessarily need, has been available as in it would have been in Fedora, but all that extra stuff like flat packs, as you'll see, or you saw during the installation, all of those codecs and transcoders, flat packs, and the ability to open up most any video file and watch it by default is just awesome. I haven't had a single failure at this point, and I'm not looking for one. That's the reason why I put it on this machine. I actually installed it at first on the HP test machine, and I liked it so much. I thought, I'm gonna put this on. I had a spot available in my workstation here to share it, so that's where I've installed it at. So let's get over to the desktop here. Okay, so now we're on our desktop, and what I did was when I first booted up. In fact, you'll see right here, said uptime 7 minutes. There's no way it was uptime 7 minutes. It was seconds, as fast as I could bring up two terminals. One of them type in htop and one of them type in RisiFetch. Make this bigger so we can all see it a little bigger there. And it was running 1.34 on a fresh boot, nothing running except this other terminal. And this is RisiFetch, and we're running RisiOS on the 6.38 kernel, 64-bit, and it uses ZSH as a shell. So if you're not used to ZSH, this may be a learning curve for you, but trust me, it's really nice. Let me pull up their webpage here. This is RisiOS.io. This is where you would go to learn about RisiOS. It uses the Gnome desktop. It's Fedora based and uses the ZSH shell. It's ready for the web. Make your own web apps. As you saw, we have that ability. Use the quick setup. That's what we did. Risi tweaks. I've looked at that and we will look at it again. And some partners and the press. People have written about it. A lot of people have written about it, and I have not to this point seen a bad review. So if you come here, you're interested and want to download it, click on download. And here's my suggestion. Go to the torrent, download the torrent. Okay, download the torrent right here. And, don't delete it, save it, and then open it up and download your ISO. But leave it in whatever torrent handler you're using. Qubit torrent transmission, those two, or any others that might be available. And save it. And every time you bring up that software, you'll be sharing RisiOS. And that will help tremendously just taking the load off of RisiOS. So RisiOS, the main developer, or probably I'm going to say the main developer, is the PizzaLovingNerd. Linux, that's interesting. This is his own webpage here, PizzaLovingNerd.com. These links will be in the description. He's been doing videos for a while now, and usually they're very informative, technical and informative. Okay, so let's get back over here. Let me just close that. I don't need it, I don't think. Now let's go back down here and let's bring up a terminal. See what we're running right now. So I run a Neo fetch. This is RisiOS 38, the Cure, 64-bit, installed on the Optiplex 7010. That's a Dell computer, 638 kernel. We've been up 20 minutes. See, that's what I mean a while ago when that snapshot said 8 minutes. There was no way. That might have been microseconds. Because I promise you, instant I had available a desktop, I opened up 2 terminals. So there's no way it was up 8 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever. Anyway, ZSH shell, the Gnome desktop 44.2. Right now, this says we're using 1.6 gigs. Let's double verify that there. HTOP 1.24 gigs. All right. Now, package management is everything you would expect it to be. It's DNF is for the package manager. And if you run a man DNF, you'll see all the flags and how to configure it, how to actually use it. But it's very simple. Let me get out of that. You can get to it when you want to. It's of course as root privileges. It would be DNF, install, search, remove, and there's probably some. I'm sure there's other commands, but those would be the 3 you're most likely interested in. It also has the GNOME package store here. It says here we got 2 updates, which is not sure to believe that because just run an update and rebooted before I started this video. Maybe there is one. I'll look here in a second. Again, as you'll see, all the repositories have been enabled with the exception of the test updates, and they're available if you need those. Non-free test updates, Linux firmware service, vendor service for testing. Lot of available repositories there. See what that update says. See, I just updated that. I'm not sure what's happening there. Back to the Explorer, Gnome software. What it saying? Not really. Close that out. So 2 ways immediately to be able to search and install or remove packages that you do not want. So it uses system D as well. So sudo system ctl status sshd. Okay, so it's available. It is not enabled by default. You'll have to start it or enable it and reboot, or you'll have to make a way for this service to run. It's there. You just need to turn it on is what I'm saying. So that's actually pretty cool. Again, sudo system ctl, let's say start sshd, see what that does. All right, now if we go back to the status, get a different reading. It says active, clear. Let's turn that off, stop it. And again, if you wanted to enable it to start every time that you turn your machine on, why didn't it stop? Inactive, dead. Cool. Yep. Okay, it does have a welcome screen. A Risi welcome. It also has Risi tweaks. Let's open up the Risi welcome first. Okay, so even if you skip something during the installation, some of those are still here available. This is socials and how to get how to get in touch for help if you need it, or to offer suggestions. I'm sure. Install custom themes, manage advanced settings with Risi tweaks. We'll open that up in a second. And it does come with a backup program called TimeShift. And TimeShift works really, really well. Really, really well. You can click on here for support. You can actually buy a shirt. custom donation, you know, $1, $5, or you can obligate for a monthly donation. Codeless contributions, contribute code. See, that's what I'm saying. This system has a lot of pre-thought. Somebody used this system, built this script. I promise you. Let's see, where was that? Package management. We did have a welcome screen. And let's go to Reese Tweaks. Look at this real quick. Here you can change your accent color. So open up a file browser. That did anything. Oh, what did it say about taking effect? Change theme has been refreshed. Some or all your applications need to be restarted. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it on the blue. That's where it was. But you can select the dark theme or the default theme. Other theming. A lot of thought has went into here. If you have other cursors, you can install them. Select them there. You see, I got the fonts that I like. On the layout, you can allow your. This thing is so extensive. I'm not going to cover it all for the length of the video here. If you're interested in RisiOS, install it, please, and take your time and read this stuff right here. This is, like I said, he has put a lot of thought into this system. You can tell somebody that designed it has used the system or is using the system, used and using it. That's Reese Tweaks. Now, I did install Gnome Tweaks right here. And that's so that the biggest reason is so I could get that restore my button right there. But there was a couple tweaks I did in there. Not sure why my file browser is open, but while it is, let's see. It's called Gnome Files or plain old files. Pretty boring. Okay, so it does come with time shift. Let's look for a firewall and think you'll be pleasantly surprised that it's not available. Check one more thing here. What did I do that for? Let's go sudo system status firewall D. And you can see firewall D isn't available and it's active and running by default. Now, that's another security plus for RisiOS. I just can't say it enough. You can tell somebody that uses this system is the one that created it. Let's see about the default groups. Let's see what I don't think I put my stuff in any groups. Let's find out. Yeah, I put myself in these groups. I had to because I installed VirtualBox. But while I was there, I installed or put myself in these groups as well. If you want to know where all the groups are, I won't use sudo privileges here, so can't really change anything. They're in Etsy groups. Control X, close that out. All right, let's see. INXI was not installed by default. I installed it. I actually like it better than I do some other ones. Anyway, this is RisiOS release 38, the Cure. It's on the Optiplex, Dell Optiplex MT7010. On the graphics, I did change to X11, and I showed in the installation why I changed to X11 over Wayland. It's using Pipewire. Let's see what my little script shows here. So RisiOS, UEFI, we're using X11. I installed this on June the 14th. Today is the 16th, or I'm sorry, today is the 20th, so it's 6 days I've been using it, playing in it, checking it out. This says we're using 1.4 gigs right now. I set my swappiness to 10. And this is, since I got a 1 here, this is a hard drive, spinning hard drive. That's a 500 gig hard drive. Right? Okay, so there's only one desktop available with RisiOS, and that is the Gnome desktop. So if we go to settings, if I can find it, there it is. There is a about right here that'll show us everything I just showed you in INXI. Actually, a little more detailed. This actually shows you it's a Dell Optiplex 7010. It shows you the BIOS version is A29. We got 32 gigs of RAM. The processor is an i40 or i5. Graphics, we're using Intel graphics. Disk capacity here, it realizes it was 500 gigs. OS name, OS type, version, windowing system X11, kernel version, and when we change here, you'll see I have dark mode selected. So I think that's going to do it for this video, because I don't know what else to show you other than I showed you how to install it. I showed you what some of the programs are. I did get every program that I've asked for, or I usually use. I did get those. Go all the way over to the last page there. You can see them here: Tux Puck, Extreme Tux Racer, Nomax, Qubit Torrent, Alright, Meld, Burning Programs, H-Type, GNU, Chromium. So I got my good array of software that I use. Open up web, because ask again later. Uh-oh. Why did it just open? No, I don't want to. Uh-oh. I'm not going to use it for a default web browser. Why does it keep closing? Uh-oh. Ask again later. That should, well, that might be a glitch. I'm glad I caught that on camera, because I might would have forgot that, because I never use anything but Firefox, possibly Chromium. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Trying to keep it short. I could go show you some other things, but I think you ought to explore it yourself. If you're interested at all in a Fedora, and you want to, I've said this before, looking at all the different spins, if you want a system that's going to allow you to pick and choose what you want to install, and you don't have to go and hunt and peck online on the web to try to find out how to just install VirtualBox. That's an example. I didn't have to add any repositories. I was able just to download it and install it, which is what you should be able to do. And once again, I mean, you can see that PizzaLovingNerd uses Fedora Linux. I mean, I know it uses Ubuntu and no telling what else, but I know that for a fact that he is using, or has used, still using, I'm sure, but RisiOS. And the reason why I'm so convinced of that is it is so polished. Everything that you can think of, or at least that I'm going to say this different, everything that I have been able to think of and look at, it was already pre-done for me. It was just a default setting. I didn't have to worry about anything. I haven't really had to do too many things. Now, I might investigate that web browser. Why didn't it come on the web? Anyway, I'm not really concerned about it. I said I don't really use it. PizzaLovingNerd, great job, dude. Awesome. And did I mention it's from Washington State? Right here in the United States. Very good. So that's going to do it for this video. Peace out, guys. Y'all be kind to each other. Be nice to yourself. Bye.